So as you can see, we have created our virtual environment as we have created in previous section, but now we're gonna use this virtual environment. It won't it be that much high, but we're gonna still use this virtual environment. So to activate this virtual environment, what we need to type is source, and this inside this virtual environment folder, so hello python slash bin slash activate. So this is the command to activate our virtual environment. And as you can see over here, a virtual environment named hello python has been activated successfully. So this means that our virtual environment has been activated successfully and we are working on it. So now let's get back to the topic and see what are the comments in python. So basically first we need to create a python files to implement it. So let us create a python file, and we'll hover it to this icon and it will showing that new file. Simply click over here, and wait, we don't want to create a new file inside this hello python folder. We want to create the file inside the tutorial but outside the hello python. So I will make sure I click over here and then we'll click over here. So what it will do is it will not create inside hello python file, it will create a file inside the tutorial and outside this folder. So let's name it like hello python, okay, comment.py. This makes sense as we are working in python file and we are using comments in this section. So let us name it as comment.py. So what we have done so far is that we have created one file named comment.py and we have activated our virtual environment. As we don't need any use of this hello python virtual environment, but still I activated it. Okay, now let's see what actually the comment is. So guys, whenever a comment is write down in your script, that means the interpreter or the compiler in any programming language like java or c++ or c, it is going to be neglected. It is not going to be interpreted by your compiler or interpreter. So what does that mean? Let us see, like write a program of simply hello world. So simply I will type hello world. So what we'll do is like python compiler print the hello world in our console. There are two way we can do it. Either you go using the python shell from here, and we can simply type over here print hello world, but this will create some mess after later on. We don't want a program of simply one line of the code. We want a program of a huge number line of code, like 50, 20, or even sometimes 100. So we don't want our code to be like of one line. So that is why we have created a file called comment.py, and inside that file we're gonna write a python code. So likewise here you can see, like whenever I try to write any python function print hello world, what is going to do is showing a hello world program. But what if I put a hashtag and say print hello world, is it gonna run? No, it is not going to be run. It is showing nothing. Now why does it so? Because in python hashtag means you are providing a comment to the script. So what is comment? So first let us understand what actually the comment is. I will simply close exit from this script shell and will clear the console. Okay, so to understand the python comment more easily, so I will tell you what actually it is. So guys, let us say you want to create a file and the file is very big and you want to provide some meaningful information to the functions. Let's say you have created a functions which will say hello world or greeting. Let's say greeting. So let's say you created a function def greeting that will simply take up a print good morning according to our cases. So let's say good morning as of now, as it is not a morning time, but still let's say you have created a function called greeting. Oops, my bad. A function called greeting, and you want to make a comment over here so that when any other coder comes in, it makes sense. So what we will do is like provide a comment over here. You just type hashtag and say like this is a greeting function, okay, something like this. So what you are trying to do is like saying like this is a greeting function. This makes sense, no guys? Like if any other programming comes in and programmers comes and say what this function do, and if you can't provide a meaningful name to a function in a single line, so what you can do over here is like provide a comment. You will say like this is a greeting function which will print good morning, okay. So morning, yeah, something like this. So and then you're gonna call this function. So generally in Python you define a function by def keyword, and you need to provide an indentation. We later on this series we're going to learn about the function very well, so don't worry about it. Just keep it as a tutorial, just keep it as for information, and just make sure that you get the concept of comment. So what the Python interpreter is gonna do, like, okay, hashtag has been found. So what it is gonna do, like, it's not going to interpret this line, it is going to negate all this line whichever followed by a hashtag. So whenever we run this Python code, then what will happen is, like, it will say, okay, this is a comment, so I don't need to interpret it. So what it will do is jump to the next line and it will start interpreting it. So it will come over here, it will say def greeting, okay, function has been defined, and then it will say, okay, function print good morning has been defined with the name of greeting. And later on we're going to create, we're going to call that function greeting. So let us see what the output is. Okay, so as you can see over here, like, the output is good morning. And by the way, you can run your script by pushing this little icon, and your Python script will run automatically. Either you can go over your console and write python 3 comment.py, that will also work, or either by clicking over here and your script will also run. So this way what happens is, like, this line has been neglected by the Python interpreter. So not only the line, whatever you write inside is like a function print, hey, hello world. So hello world, this is also going to be neglected by a Python interpreter. You can see over here is, like, you only find a good morning, you didn't find a word hello world, because this is a comment. So what the Python interpreter do is, like, it will neglect it, it will say, okay, this is a comment, so I don't need to interpret it. So that is why the Python interpreter is not printing this. So this is the case of the comment, and this is how you can define a comment in your Python code. But wait, what if my comment line is of 100, 200, or even the 300 line of code? I want to provide a meaningful information or a proper documentation. So in this case, I need to provide hashtag to every 100 line of code? No, there is a simple way of defining of comments. So what you need to do is put this three apostrophe 1 2 3. Okay, and inside this three dot, whatever you write is your comment. So say, let's say print uh, this is a comment which Python is going to neglect. Okay, which is Python is not going to read. Okay, so this makes sense, no? You can write a number of lines as much as you want. So you can say, like, this is a comment file and we are learning Python comment. So what's happening over here is, like, Python will come over here and see, okay, three post office has been provided here. So what does that mean is, like, whatever comes between the starting and the ending between them, that is going to be considered as a comment. So let us run this program and see what actually it print. So as you can see, it's still printing only good morning. Okay, let me clear the console, or you can say terminal, so to have a better understanding. So let's say python comment.py, we run the file and we can see, like, we don't have any error, we have only good morning, which is calling the, when we call this function getting, and it's printing this. So what will happen if I just remove this three apostrophe, will the Python code will run? No, the Python will run this file, but at in middle of it, it will crash. So let us see what is the output of this. So I simply clear the terminal and try to run this file. So python 3 comment.py. So python 3 is going to interpret the comment.py file. That is obviously going to run this file. So as you can see, like, this is a comment file and we are learning Python comment. This is a comment file which is the Python show a error in here. So what it shows is, like, invalid syntax. So what does that mean? This means that Python is not trying to understand what the syntax is. It shows like it's an invalid syntax, so it's not going to interpret it. But will it still run? Now let us see. Yes, this is going to be run. As you can see, like, Python, this is a comment which Python is going to, okay, my bad, Python is going to read. So what happened in this case is like we have removed the comments. We, that means this print becomes a function, and if we write it under a comment section, then it is not going to be run by our Python. So as you can see, only we have a good morning. The text which is this is a comment section has gone now, as because Python is considered as a comment and it won't interpret it. So this is the concept of the comment. So I hope you understand the concept of comment, and now let's get to the variable. So guys, you have seen most of the time in programming language we define a variable, and then we used in for mathematical calculation or other things like storing our data. So this is the variable, as you all know. Those who don't know about variable, then I'll make another video on this and will surely to tell you what actually the variable is. But for this video we're gonna see how to define a variable in Python. So basically in other programming language, if you want to declare a variable, you need to provide a data type. What kind of data is going to be stored in it? Either it is a string, or it is an integer, or it is an boolean, or it is an float value. In Python, you don't need to tell the Python that you have what kind of data is going to be stored in a variable. All you need to do is to define a variable and just store the value in it. So how do we do that? Simply type a variable a, and inside that we are storing 10. That's it, guys. This is how the Python variable works. You have successfully created a variable with name a, and you have successfully stored a value of 10 in it. Now let us print this value. So to print this, all you need to do is call the print function, and inside that you need to pass your variable. See guys, whatever you pass inside this print function, you can say like it's going to be print in our console. So let us run this command, and you can see like here we are getting a result of 10. So let me clear this to have a better visual. So let us run this once more. So python 3 and comment.py. So as you can see, we are getting a output of 10. That means our variable has been stored inside a. So what, how to store a float value? Simply, no problem guys, you can just put a dot and 0. So this means that now a is storing a value of float. That's it guys, you don't need to define any of the variable over here, data type. So when you say print a, it will, you will see like 10, now 10 integer is converted into a float. Actually it's not converting it a float, it is storing a value of float. So similarly, if you want to store a string value in it, simply you need to put the double quotation, and inside this you need to provide your strings like hello, we are learning Python variable. Okay, simply save this and run this file. As simple as that. You don't need to define a string or you need to create an array. Simply this is a way how you can define a variable in Python. So this is how a Python variable works. You simply define it, you give it a name, you put a value inside it, and that's it, you print a function. Similarly, if you want to create another variable like b, you can do so by providing b equals to, and here I'm providing age is 25. Okay, now what if I want to print both of them in a single line? So what we can do over here is like give a comma over here and say b. So this is a way how you can print two variable in a single line. So this will also work fine guys. So let's say, okay, see, hello, we are learning Python variable. Okay, this is what we are printing over a, and you know over b you are getting a 25 result as we are showing 25 in it. So this is how the Python variable works. So that's it for today guys. I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. And if you have any doubts related to this video, make sure you put in the comment section. I will surely reply back to you. Okay guys, take care, bye bye.